I want to talk briefly about Home Partners of America and how they compare to their nearest competitors. Home Partners started several years ago as Hyperion Homes and ultimately changed their name to Home Partners of America and have been operating as such for about 7 or 8 years. The program has been imitated, but to be honest, nobody has quite reached the same benefits that Home Partners has. And we're going to look at that real quick using an example here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex of Texas. This is 2609 Cloud Court. The home is listed on the MLS for $389,500. The rents you see are if the investor were to purchase that home on your behalf and rent that home to you. As you see on the left with Home Partners, the monthly rent is $2,650. Through Divvy, the rent goes up to $3,095 a month. Divvy puts 5% of this monthly rent towards your purchase price. They put it into a savings account on your behalf. But 5% works out to be less than $200. So we're still above $2,900 net on the rent rate itself. Whereas Home Partners, you're at $2,650 a month. No, none of it goes towards your purchase price. However, you can put as much as $300, $400, $500 into your own bank account, your own savings account, and save that money for your own down payment rather than putting it into an account through the investor Divvy. Dream America is another one, even smaller than Divvy, where their rent goes towards your purchase price and they put 10% of your rent towards purchase. At 10% of $3,770 monthly payment, we're still at $3,300 a month, which is significantly higher than even Divvy. You can also see below the images the upfront cost, whether it be called a security deposit, an option fee, earnest money, something like that. Home Partners is the lowest at 2 times the monthly rent. Divvy is essentially 2%, as is Dream America. Now there are some who might qualify for a 1% upfront payment on Divvy. However, it is rare. You'd have to have a pretty significant credit score, pretty significantly high credit score. And many of those people will already qualify for a mortgage that may not fit what you need. However, if you might have a recent bankruptcy or foreclosure and you're simply waiting, the upfront cost with Divvy may make sense to save you a little bit of money even over Home Partners. You then have to factor in the extra on the rent as well. Also of note, right now in many areas, the Home Partners program will purchase up to a higher price than what Divvy will. However, Dream America does top Home Partners. They are not in as many markets. Hell, if you go up that aisle, we're talking about a pretty significant rent rate. On this next page, we're going to focus on the right to purchase price. As you can see here, in Texas, Home Partners offers 3 years, and they show you an estimated right to purchase each year. That includes a price increase of 5% annually, plus closing costs and estimates for repairs. If they don't spend that money on repairs, then you never pay that back. So it would be reduced from that right to purchase price. However, they do show a worst case scenario when they give you their anticipated terms. So here in this example, in year 1, you're just under $416,000. If you look over at Divvy, in the first 18 months, the first year and a half, you're at $425,000, which is significantly higher. And over here on Dream America, you're at $416,000 and a little bit of change. So you're looking at a pretty similar price with Dream America. However, the extra you've paid in rent just doesn't really make up for that difference. You're talking about in a 12-month period, thousands of dollars. In other states in the nation, Home Partners can go up to 5 years. Unfortunately, Texas has a law that restricts the option to purchase to only 3 years. You can see the top price with Divvy is after 36 months. You have to do it again within that 36-month period based on Texas law. You're at $460,000 compared to Home Partners at $458,000. I have an example right now in McKinney, Texas, where my client got into her home partner's home in June of 2020, and home partners paid $390 for the home. She now has the right to purchase that home for $438. That home, if we turn around and sell it, 600 to 650,000 easy. She could make as much as $200,000 even though she's only been a renter. She built up equity based on the market being good and going through a program like Home Partners. But the reality is, if you don't qualify for Home Partners, and you can qualify for one of these other two programs, and you plan to buy the home in the next couple of years, it might make a ton of sense, even if it costs you a little extra monthly. You can see these right to purchase prices at $460. If she were to do the same home through Divvy, and her right to purchase price was around $460,000, she still made $150,000, $190,000 in equity. An absolutely great move for her. And over here on Dream America, you see they only offer 12 months. So if you take longer than that, they may have to give you a different calculation, or it may not be an option for you to buy the home at all. There are other programs as well, Halo, several others that have popped up. And their costs really don't compare to these either, especially when it comes to the upfront costs. Some might tell you, hey, we can get you approved down to a 480 score. Sure, but that would require about 10% upfront. In those cases, I typically recommend if you have 10% upfront to put down, let's pay off some of those debts, pay off some collections, get your score up to where it needs to be. Also of note, Divvy does a lot when they change based on your credit score. So if you have a score in their highest qualifying category, your upfront payment may only be 1%. However, your monthly is going to be that $3,095 a month with 5% towards your purchase price. If your credit score is in their lowest credit bracket, then they would require a 10% savings, and they increase the monthly rent based on the additional savings up front. And you can see on this Cloud Court, the payment may be as high as $3,700 a month, which lines it right up with Dream America. Based on all of these things we've talked about, and based on the transparency and information you can get about Home Partners of America, it really is the only program I talk about, unless there's a situation that specifically fits one of these other programs. I've seen many negative reviews online about Home Partners of America. Keep in mind, they've already helped over 20,000 families into homes. Of course, there's going to be some negative reviews, but there are so many situations. I would say there's 100 positives to every single negative experience. And if you have any questions, just post them below, reach out to me by text or email, and I'm happy to answer them. One of the biggest issues we see is that the agent that somebody worked with simply didn't know the answers to the questions to give them heads up or communicate properly. We want to make sure, even if you're an agent and you have questions, reach out to me. I want to help make sure that all of our residents are knowledgeable on the program. That's all I got. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.